right. Okay, all right. So, all right, here we go. So, you do not think we're information? Then what the fuck are we?
For information, but we're physical beings.
No, we are not.
Well,
This is the stuff I love talking about all the time because I've thought about this a fuck ton. I've talked with a lot of people about this. I even talked to the lead developer on Space Engineers, and you know what they specialize in? They actually have an entirely separate company called Good AI that specifically focuses on artificial intelligence, understanding and designing artificial intelligence. And I had a great conversation with him. We are in no way, we are not physical beings. Cut off your arm. Your arm is gone. What are you? You're still your body.
You have Phantom Pain.
You're not your arm.
Pain.
You're not. Well, yeah, you have, but that's different. That's still generated by your mind. You cut off your arm. Your arm is on the floor.
That's what I'm saying. It's generated
Can
by
you
your mind.
control that
It's
arm anymore? No, you can't control that arm. Cut off your torso. You know, cut out your torso's gone. Can you control that torso anymore? No, you can keep cutting yourself down to the point where, okay, you're your brain, right? You're only your brain. What if I told you could cut off parts of your brain that are just as not as much a part of you as your arm? You can keep going and going and going to the point where they actually did some studies, and it's really, really crazy, mind-blowing shit. They had people that would go into a coma, and there was one part of the brain, when it was destroyed, that the person would feel like they were trapped in their own body. They couldn't control anything. They were aware of everything. They couldn't move their arms. The only thing that were still working were automated systems, like their heartbeat and breathing and stuff like that. And they felt like they were trapped in their own body. When you destroyed the other part of the brain, everything still worked. They technically still had the ability to control everything, but they weren't there. There was literally nobody there. It's like they actually found, it was a TED Talk. I wish I could find it again, but they literally destroyed,
TED Talks are amazing.
The part of the brain that was you. And people have even done some more research where, oh my god, you could take this so fucking far. And I when I think about this stuff, I get so fucking excited. Do you know anything about quantum computers? Redneck, you bitch! Do you know anything about quantum computers?
No.
Okay, all right. So
I said no the first time. I don't know what happened.
So
I
didn't hear you.
I know the concept.
So
I understand
quantum
the concept.
computers are not necessarily better than normal computers. They're just different. They just function differently. They can do some things better, which is why we're excited about them.
It's like a different architecture for.
It's a different architecture. It's a completely different architecture because the way quantum computers work is in quantum technology. You have weird shit that happens. Quantum physics is literally just stuff that makes no sense. Stuff in this universe that does stuff that makes no sense. It has nothing to do with the normal rules of our physical universe. And that's not the way they explain it, because people try to explain it and like, why the fuck was this happening? You just got to the point where it was just like, okay, this happens. We know this happens, but we have literally no idea why. And it does shit that just makes no fucking sense, but we just know it happens. You know, like back in the day when the fucking sun orbited, or when everybody thought the sun orbited Earth. You know, like fucking.
Or the Earth was flat.
We know the sun rises and it sets. We have no fucking idea why. We just know it happens. Same thing with quantum technology. Quantum technology has some really crazy shit that happens. Like for instance, stuff that just teleports. Like fucking electrons that just warp in and out of existence. They warp out. We have no idea where the fuck they went. We have no idea. And then they come back in like a little bit to the left, which is why we're having to work with quantum computers, because with normal computers, we've gotten to the point where everything is starting to be so small that the electrons are warping out of existence and then warping into existence on like the opposite side of a resistor. And then it fucks like the entire logic, because before you had a really structured system where you had logic going through, and then it was a very structured, specific way. But now you've got electrons warping past resistors and shit, just completely randomizing stuff, which is bad because it fucks with like normal logic chains. But it's good because then we can move into quantum computing. We can do some really crazy shit. And some of the stuff that they found that quantum computers are good at when you use these weird physical attributes for quantum computing. They're really, really good at database searching. So, for instance, a normal computer. Let's say you have a normal computer, and the normal computer has like 100 things that it has to find. And you take one of those things and you give it back to the computer, and you're like, hey, computer, here's a thing. Find that thing in your database that matches this. Well, a normal computer would be like, okay, let me look at all of these 100 things one at a time. That's not it. 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 And it would do that like 100 times until it's like, oh, that's it. You know, I found it. And that's great and all. I found the thing, but it's really inefficient. Works really inefficiently.
Yeah.
Something that
can make it go
quantum
really fast,
computers
but
can
it
do
doesn't
is, since the quantum computers have the ability to have all of these weird things, like for instance they have like electrons, they have like qubits that are essentially where you have a computer that's in an on and off state. Quantum computers can do really weird shit where they can have like a qubit that's in like multiple states at the same time, which means it can do things like checking a database like in multiple places simultaneously, which cuts down on the search time exponentially. Like so you give an object to a normal computer, it takes forever, it has to check through every single thing in order to find that object. You give an object to a quantum computer, and it's able to simultaneously scan an entire database and find that in a millionth of the time. Now I'll tell you something. What does that remind you of?
You're the human brain?
Yeah.
A quantum computer and we're doing more and more research on quantum computers. Quantum computers are starting to look more and more and more like a human fucking brain. And I'll tell you right now, some people are theorizing. So you know when I said like the electrons are able to warp in and out of existence? Some people are saying maybe freedom of will. Maybe what separates us from just a computer that's really rigid, maybe we don't exist in this physical universe. Maybe we exist in our most fundamental form in wherever the fuck those electrons are teleporting to.
Whoa.
So you're talking about...
And that would make a lot of sense, right? Because all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, freedom of will. That makes sense. That's why we're able to make free decisions. That's why we're not just on rails. Maybe we fundamentally exist in some completely different layer of reality, and we impact the physical universe, but we don't exist in it. In the same way when you play a computer game. In the computer game, you've got that computer, you got that physical simulation inside the computer, but you are probably a character in that simulation, but that character is getting input from an external source. What if that exact same shit is happening right now in the physical universe?
That's fucking crazy.
Fucking hold up! I need to find a mic to drop right now. Hold up!
Red,
I need to find a fucking mic dropped.
Like what if it was like say, I can't think of the word for it. Like it would be ironic if we were controlled by computers.
Yeah, and then in the other dimension, there's just another computer. It'd be like, God damn it, no, there is no God. Okay, so anyways, I had to record that. That was amazing. All right, I'm done. That was.
Anyway.